Hi everyone, today in Sewing Club we're going to make scrunchies. Let's go. Okay, so first we have to measure out our pattern. So the length of our scrunchie pattern piece is going to be 45 centimeters long in length, and it's going to be 12 centimeters in width. So I'm just going to use a texter to mark the inside of the wrong side of the fabric with the measurements. So 45. And 12 width. And because my ruler is not quite 45 centimeters, I'm just going to mark in the middle so I can get a straight line. So I'm going to mark the width here at 12 centimeters. And then I can join up the markings on the fabric. Okay, so now that we've drawn our pattern on our fabric, we need to cut it out. So just go slowly, just look at the line ahead of the scissors where you want to cut, and that'll help you to cut a straight line. Okay, so here's our finished pattern piece. So it's 45 centimeters long and it's 12 centimeters wide. So now with the right side of the fabric facing upwards, we just fold it in half lengthways. And the next step is to sew this seam here along the length. Okay, to begin sewing, it's really important that we put both of the edges together. Okay, and then we just carefully sew forwards, then backwards, so our stitching doesn't come undone. And then we just slowly go along. We keep stopping to make sure that our edges are together as we sew. So you sew all the way along the length of the whole piece. So if your thread breaks like mine did when you're halfway through sewing a seam, it's okay. Just rethread the machine, and you can just place the machine foot a couple of centimeters above where it broke, and you can start again on top of your old stitching. So just sew forwards a few stitches, then remember to go backwards, and then forwards again. And don't forget to line up your edges. And when you get to the end, stop, go backwards, and then forwards again until the end. Okay, so once you've sewn your side seam, just trim the threads at the end, and then it's time to turn the whole thing the right way around. So you can just use your fingers and slowly push the fabric through to the right side. It does take a little while. Sometimes it's helpful to use a pencil to help you push it through. Okay, so I'm just going to use this texter with the lid on to help me push the fabric through. You can use a chopstick or a pencil as well. So we just push the fabric into the tube and then pull it out the top, and it comes out the right side. Okay, so next we need to get some elastic. So this elastic that I'm using is about 1/2 centimeter wide. We need to cut a length of 21 centimeters. Okay, so with your first safety pin, you need to put it through the end of your elastic and do the end up. So just like that. With the second one, you need to put it through the other end of your elastic. And then before you do it up, you actually need to secure it to the end of your tube of fabric. So I'm just going to push it through the end of the fabric here, and then I'll do it up. So you can see the elastic is pinned to the end of the tube of fabric, and the other end of the elastic has the other safety pin. So next you take the end that's not attached to your tube, and you need to push that into your tube, and then gently and slowly push it through the tube, like so. And you push it all the way through to the other end. So you just push the fabric up over the pin and pull it down. Now, once you get out the other end, you can carefully unpin the side where the elastic's attached to the tube. Just be careful that it doesn't get lost inside the tube. So take the pin out from the fabric and then do the pin up again. Now at this stage, there's two different ways you can secure the elastic. You can knot the ends together in a double knot, or you can sew the ends together using a zigzag stitch, and that's what I'm going to do next. So I've just changed the setting of my stitches to zigzag for the elastic. So now I'm going to join it together. So I sew forwards and then backwards, just like I do with my side seam, trying at the same time to keep the elastic together. So just take your time on this part. So forwards and backwards, quite a few times. Okay, that should be enough. So take the needle out of the elastic, lift the foot up, pull your scrunchie towards you, and you can trim off the threads. Okay, just check your connection is strong. And the next step, we need to put one end of the tube into the other end of the fabric tube. And once we've put one end inside the other, the one that's on the outside, we need to just carefully fold down the edge at the end so that we have a neat finish. We have it all neat, so maybe we can zoom in so you can see. So we've got this end inside this end, and then on this end we've folded down the edge. So once you've got that all neat on both sides, you can change your stitch setting back to straight stitch on the machine, and we're just going to sew this edge together. Now we're going to sew our edges together with a straight stitch. So forwards a few stitches, then backwards a few stitches, and then forwards across to the other side. Where we stop, we go backwards and then forwards again to the end. Okay, make sure your needle is out of the fabric. Lift the foot on your machine and pull the scrunchie edge towards you. Trim off all the excess threads. Okay, so once you've trimmed your threads, you have your finished scrunchie. You can wear it around your wrist or put it into your hair. And that's it, all done. See you everyone.